Welcome to Just Wanna Quilt, a research podcast coming out of Tulane University Law School, where we explore all kinds of things, stories about quilting, tools, field trips, maybe some famous quilters stop by, and, of course, a little bit of copyright thrown in just for fun. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Townsend Guard. I'm a law professor, and I just wanna quilt. Okay, so this is a field trip report from Judy Walker. She went to Paducah with 4 other Quilting Army members, and I'm at her house, and she's telling me about the trip. All right, this is us. Can you say hi? Oh, we love it. Tell her we love it. Tell her we love it. She is amazing. She can shop for us forever. It was great. Okay, so this is Sunday morning. You've just come back from Paducah. This is the first interview, and we're with Judy Walker at her home in New Orleans. All right.
We had such an amazing time. It was great. It was really great. It was totally different from anything I've ever done.
So tell us why.
Well, it's just, I've been to a couple of big quilt shows now, and this is completely different, as people had told me it would be, because it is spread out over the entire town of the city of Paducah. 27,000 people. It's a little river town, beautiful little place, and they embrace this whole huge event. I wish I had the number to tell you of how many people come to this quilt show.
It's about the same size as the town. I think the town's like 27. I think that's like half and half.
27,000, and at least that many people come there, if not more.
Yeah.
Buses from all over the place. We ran into a group of quilters, 30 quilters that came from Europe. When we asked a lady to take our picture the very first day we were there. We tried to hook up with them later, but that didn't work. But they were all dressed alike in black.
That's great.
We kept seeing groups everywhere we went. I posted a picture of these women, a group of 17 from Wisconsin, and they had these T-shirts that said "Bad Girls of Wisconsin."
There's a group, I can't remember who told me about them, that they rent a plane and they fly in for the day and then they fly back.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. When Edith and I got out the very first day, when we got there for the show, we met these 2 women who were coming out, and they do some kind of like parade at the very beginning, like a parade of quilts right before the opening of the show.
Yeah.
And so they're coming down the sidewalk, and they were waving their quilts, and I have their names. They were so cute. And I took a picture of them and their quilts. They had been coming to the show for 25 years. It was their 25th year. And they have like a retreat on the way. And then they were set up in the suite at the Holiday Inn next door and they said they had a whole sewing studio.
That's really great. So is the Holiday Inn like the place that if you were going to do it again, if you were going to stay, well, first you guys stayed in.
We stayed in a condo.
A condo that we got.
Yes.
And how was that?
It was ideal.
Yeah.
It was ideal. And the first thing I said when we walked in was, we could put the sewing machine right there, because there was a big desk area in between the kitchen and the dining room.
That's really great. Now, how far away was it from where you needed to go?
I don't know in miles, Elizabeth, but it was maybe 10 minutes. Once we knew, it's confusing to drive around Paducah.
Interesting.
Because of the river. And because stuff goes like one way and not the other way. But thanks to Mary Ellen, we were able to get oriented pretty soon.
That's really cool.
But it was not very
And how hard was it to park? Like if you were staying about 10 minutes away, my worry was parking.
Well, we were able to, because we went to bed early every night, like by 9 o'clock. But so we were able to get up and leave sort of early. Of course, with 5 women trying to get ready, it's like herding cats. But we were able to kind of leave every morning by 8:30, and everything started at 9, so we'd get there early and park. And we discussed
so that was the key.
Where and what we were going to do.
Right.
And so we parked next to where we were going to be. We also had 2 cars because Hillary brought her car from Memphis after we met up with her there.
Yeah.
So we had 2 cars, and so we were able to really, sometimes we all went in one car. But that was very convenient.
That's great.
And
so it's doable. You could park.
Oh, yeah.
You can have a Airbnb or VBRO, or whatever it is, and then drive in. Like I was a little worried about that.
Yes.
So you can do that.
You can
get there early.
Yes.
Make sure to do the early things so you can park.
Yes.
And then how difficult was it in terms of walking? So was there too much walking?
There's
like if you're somebody that's got like
there's
walking
a lot
issues.
Of buses. If you got walking issues, you need to plan carefully because there's a lot of buses, okay? But the buses did not stop every place.
Oh, my gosh.
There was a trolley. One day, Mary Ellen and I tried to wait on the trolley, and we ended up hiking over to where we wanted to be at Catch's exhibit. And we walked like 9 blocks.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
not terrible.
The most ideal neighborhood we walked through, but we were together. It was fine.
It can't be. Okay.
So,
and then what about scooters? Did you see a lot of scooters there?
Yes, they rent scooters like they do at all the big shows.
So people, if you had
Lots of
walking
people on
issues, you
scooters.
could do the scootery thing.
Yes. The most crowded that it was anywhere that we went was the morning of the very first show, the very first day in the big building, because everybody wanted to jam in and
that was
see
on
the winning quilts. So
Wednesday?
that was Wednesday.
Wednesday. It starts Wednesday.
morning.
Yeah.
Because it's just opened.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there was a preview the night before.
Right.
But it was crowded. And then later in the day, there's like this whole downstairs shopping area with just vendors. And that was pretty crowded.
So how much of Paducah is shopping, would you say? Like percentage, like shopping versus quilt exhibit versus classes. I get a sense that it's a lot of shopping.
A lot of shops are set up. I was impressed by the number of like little pop-up shops selling everything related to quilting that were in all these sort of downtown buildings. So we went to the Yiser Art Center and saw this beautiful exhibit of contemporary textiles. It was all different kinds of things, weaving and knitting and basketry.
You did that on Tuesday night, right? Was that Tuesday night?
Yes, we went Tuesday night. It was a juried show. Very, very nice. It was not a large show. We paid $5 admission and then went into that, really enjoyed it. Now, before that, we had gone into, or maybe, I don't remember the exact sequence of when, but we went around to some of these little pop-up shops. And that's where I found the Sunbonnet Sue's and met several like antique quilt dealers.
Yeah. And how were they popping up? Were they just in some other shop?
They're set up in like buildings that must be just vacant the rest of the year. So they're set up as little, like almost like an antique mall.
Oh, how interesting.
With several vendors in one place. And so they're from all over, especially like the southeast states. I remember a woman from Little Rock that had beautiful, like, repurposed clothing.
Amazing.
That, people would like. And, everything is geared to quilters. There were even vendors I saw the vendors in the Dome that were selling, like, shoes for quilters.
Really?
They were like comfort shoes.
Right.
And
everything you can imagine.
Everything for comfort.
Interesting.
And, the thing you put across your back to relieve stress and, all kinds of those things.
Very
things
cool.
to clean your jewelry. It's kind of stuff you see at fairs.
Right. Okay, so the other practicalities. How difficult was it to get food? Did you guys bring your lunches? Did you eat lunch there? How hard was it with all those people?
With us, it was not bad because we were on such an early schedule that we would eat early in the day. So we'd have coffee and maybe a little bit of breakfast at the condo before we left, but then eat an early lunch. And outside the main convention center, they set up a whole bunch of food vendors set up out there. And they had, they're famous for this one barbecue sandwich thing that we ate.
Yeah, that Paducah is.
Yeah.
The show is.
The show is famous for this one.
Got it.
It was like one of the things you shouldn't miss is this barbecue sandwich.
Uh-huh.
So we ate that. And the very first thing I had to have was the strawberry shortcake from Boy Scout 1500.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. We got pictures of that.
It was great. It was the complete, you could get the works for $6, and that was the ice cream, the cake, the strawberries, and whipped cream.
So
and it was delicious. And so the moms were there. I said, do the scouts come, on the weekend?
Right.
They said, yeah, they come after school, too, and help.
That's
and
so
they've been
great.
doing it since the very second year of the show.
Wow, and how long the show has been going? A long time now, right?
I don't know. Somebody needs to answer
We'll
that
have
question.
to ask that question.
It's many years. I know the Rotary Club's antique show that we went to, which was in another whole separate building that we got to on a bus, it was their 30th anniversary year of doing this.
Amazing.
And that was an incredible, amazing thing.
Okay, so I wasn't able to go. So, but everyone kept saying when we started this project, the two places there's lots of shows we need to get to, QuiltCon and all that. But the two major things we needed to do was Quilt Market, which you and I did, and we'll do it again, hopefully, and Paducah. So why is Paducah something we had to see?
Because it's so different and so vibrant. And I really did see a lot of vendors there that maybe I wasn't at the festival part of Houston.
Yeah.
So maybe some of these people were there. But I had the sense that there were a lot of like smaller shops maybe that come to Paducah from their parts of
closer,
that country.
Right.
Because it's in the eastern part of the country. And sort of centrally located in the east. I saw a lot of Mennonite groups together.
Interesting.
At the show that I certainly didn't see in Houston.
Yeah.
It's a really different vibe.
It'd be really interesting to know how much rental space is, that since you saw so many small groups, if the rental space is more affordable or different. I'd be really curious.
It's got to be a huge range because there's so many venues that you could set up in. Everything from these little, I'm just calling them pop-up malls that are just there probably just for the show.
Right.
To the biggest spaces.
Really interesting. Now, how was it? Did you see any of our Just Wanna Quilt people? As like we were supposed to meet up with people, but it's so huge. There's no way, right?
Well, we tried, but we said we were going to set up a time, but we never really followed up on that. So the first day, I felt like we didn't know what we were doing. We're just making it up on the fly.
Yeah.
I felt kind of frantic.
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting a lot done. Gigi was able to immediately upload Facebook Live videos.
Yeah, right. You guys did great.
But we were very technically challenged because that was the most crowded time, and our phones weren't working at all in that convention center. My phone basically became like a dead battery I'm carrying around. The only thing I could do was text messages.
That's so frustrating.
But Edith and Gigi were able to upload videos and made some good ones. I did manage to take some pictures.
Yeah, I saw that you did.
And took a lot of pictures. I tried to take pictures.
You're great.
I thought if I can't do anything else, I can at least do
that. No, you posted some really great stuff.
But then by the second day, we were. So I also came to the realization, shared this with everybody else. Here we are in this great place. We're doing what we came here to do. We're spreading the word. We're giving out cards. We're talking to people. We're getting these interviews. We're also in the presence of these beautiful, beautiful quilts.
Right.
Let's just also enjoy the quilts.
Exactly.
So just
enjoy it.
Take a deep breath. Enjoy the quilts. Absorb it.
Yeah. Now, there were a lot of different exhibition of quilts, would you say?
Yes. So we saw, in addition to the juried show, there had several exhibits. The most amazing one was this artist, Ian Berry.
Oh, right.
The denim guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It was like a whole village that he had set up, starting with a laundromat, and the washing machines are made out of denim, and the signs are all made out of denim. Everything.
Now, are these quilts, or are these...
Not
or
really.
Are these actually, like,
it's
washing machines made out of denim?
I think it was kind of more like washing machines made out of denim. And then you went into like a living room, like a house space.
Oh, my gosh.
And there are pictures on the walls that are like evocative masterpieces of like women and nudes and stuff. And they looked more like quilts hanging on the walls, but they were small, but incredibly detailed. And, of course, there's a denim chandelier. Next door, there's like a denim garden, like a little city garden space. Wow. Then there was like a whole record store with denim album covers.
That's so insane.
It was insane. He said he's had 2 shows in New Orleans on Royal Street before.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
But he hadn't been here since 2011. But he tours all over the world. He's a Brit.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Lovely.
There was also, you guys get to, wasn't there a Korean quilt show?
We missed it.
And then there was another one, right? There was.
We saw
Japan? Was there a Japanese quilt show? No.
The Japanese quilts were at the International Quilt Museum.
Oh.
And they were mind-boggling. The whole museum was mind-boggling. Several people told us the museum has never been better. So you walked in, and there was no photography. So we walked in, and you see these...
So let me just pause. Okay. So the no photography is really interesting. It's what museums do. So they may not hold the copyright. Some things may be out of copyright in the public domain, but the no photography is access control. So that's what museums do to keep people from putting stuff on. Now, it's interesting because we see museums changing that policy because they want people on social media, right? Yeah.
Here comes Ms. Okra. I will have to take a break and go out